Okay, good evening everybody, and welcome to my channel. So today is March the 9th of 2022. Time to get our hydroponic garden up and running. And today we're going to be showing you how I get my seeds started, get my seedlings up. And I'll show you the tools that I use and the procedure that I use. Y'all stick around and we'll get started. And we're going to be using a seed starting kit that I picked up at one of the big box stores. It's a Jiffy seed starting greenhouse kit with the expandable pellets. And this year they've started putting a little fertilizer packet in there. So we're going to be using the fertilizer. I've already got some seeds started. I'll show you some pictures of those here in just a minute. But since I've already got some started, I'm not going to plant very many today. But I wanted to kind of walk y'all through the process. I got a couple of more varieties of peppers that I want to get started, so we'll do that and show you how to do it. So y'all stick around. Okay, so I went ahead and opened up the seed starter kit. It comes with 72 pods, which is more than we're going to be using today. I'm just going to put what I don't use, I'm going to put in a grocery bag, seal them up a little bit and put them in my shed. The fertilizer pack comes along with the kit. Of course, you got to have seeds. The kit comes with some markers. A pencil does better. Ink has a tendency to try to run on these markers, so I use a pencil for that. And just some kind of little tool to pick your seeds up with, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. A little plate to pour your seeds out on where you can harvest your seeds one at a time. Makes it easy. You'll need a little bucket to hold some water, mix your fertilizer, and that's about it for the tools. So we'll go ahead and get started. First thing I'm going to do is go ahead and mix this fertilizer up. It costs for one packet per gallon of water. And we'll go ahead and stir this fertilizer, get it dissolved. Dissolves pretty easy, so it don't take a whole lot of effort. I'm going to set the pods over in the bucket and just let them soak. Just take them out. I'm just going to remove the ones that I'm not going to use. You take the top of that kit, a clear plastic top, and just dump these over in it. That's got them all. So now I'll take these and just dump them into the bucket of water. Okay, so the pods are about ready. They've soaked up about all the water they can soak up. They've expanded to where they need to be. But I wanted to show you a little shot of my pond. Starting to get a little rain sprinkling out on the pond. So let me pan over here to it. I'm just standing on the back porch out here at my work shed. So I'm going to just pan around and show you a little shot of my lake in the backyard. There's been an alligator. He showed up about 4 days ago. And he's out there just about every day now. So in fact, I see him over on the other end. But he'll come right over here to me. He's been here now for 2 or 3 years, so he thinks he's part of the family. So I'm sure y'all see him in some future videos. Like I say, he'll come almost right up to the bank and be standing there. So, and he likes to watch me cut grass. So there you go. Okay, well, we'll go ahead and get started with these seeds and get them into pods, and I'll show you how we do that. Alright, so the pod's fully expanded now. Well, I'm going to just take my little tool Just make sure the hole is open good and set it back in the rack. And like I say, we're only going to plant 48 seedlings today, so we'll only be using part of this tray. Once these come up and we decide what else we want to plant, we can go back and get the pods that I put in the bag and do this same process and get some more seedlings started. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. I've only got so many buckets that I can plant in until I get some more buckets ready. I really don't need this many, but I can give some away. But what I've learned over the last few years, I've been doing this I guess about 7 years now. It don't take a whole lot of plants to produce a whole lot of food. Hydroponics is really a mind-blowing thing. Last year my wife and I, we ate tomatoes and cucumbers and squash and zucchinis and eggplants, broccoli, cauliflower. We ate all we wanted and still able to give away quite a bit of food to my kids. I think you'll be amazed at the progress, and if you'll follow me along, if you'll hit that subscribe button and that notification bell, I'll be posting up a lot of videos this year showing you the progress of my little garden and the additions that I make to my garden. And I think you'll be stunned, and I hope you'll join me in this little process and go ahead and set up your own system. If you're new to it, I'll be showing you how I make my buckets up. I use 5-gallon buckets. My grow tables, I use recycled pallets to build my tables out of. There's some PVC pipe work that you have to do and some pumps. Really the initial investment will be your pumps and your PVC pipe to get water to the plants. You got to have a way for the water to return back to a sump, and I'll show you how to do that, or how I do that. There's a lot of different ways of doing that, but the system that I use is basically a storm gutter system from my return line back to my sump, and it's kind of carefree, so you don't have to worry about it getting plugged. It's easy to just walk out to the garden and look at it and make sure that everything's running like it's supposed to. Very few problems that you'll encounter. My little tables that I got built out of the pallets, they're not the most beautiful things in the world. I'll agree with you on that, but they don't look horrible either, and they work great. And you can get pallets for free, just all over the place. Okay, so that's a done deal. We're going to leave that little bucket of water right there too, and I'll show you why in just a minute. We'll start with the pepper plants. This is it's a sweet pepper. It's called a Tangerine Dream. Never heard of it until this year, so we're going to try it. I've already planted a few. They hadn't come up yet. I planted them yesterday. So what it's going to do is just dump you a few seeds out onto that plate, little paper plate, and take your little tool and just wet the tip of it. And you can pick up those seeds one at a time. They usually stick pretty good, just like so, and stick it down into your little pod. Pretty easy process. I'll share a little history with you why I got started with the hydroponics. My brother was doing aquaponics, and he was raising tilapia. Had a pretty garden, grew some pretty vegetables, and that's kind of where I got my start. I built me a little makeshift greenhouse, kind of threw it together, got me a little tank, bought some Baltimore minnows, which basically is a goldfish. And down here in South Georgia, goldfish are a legal bait for catching a flathead catfish, an Appaloosa catfish. So one of the local bait shops here carries them, and I went ahead and picked me up a pound of them, put them in my little sump, and started an aquaponic garden. And I had great success with that. I did encounter a few problems with that. Keeping my fish tank clean. Aeration wasn't really a problem, mostly just keeping my tank clean. So I started studying hydroponics and decided I was going to give that a try. And I've kind of gotten hooked on it. I believe I get better results out of the hydroponics than I did the aquaponics. I know my system that I use likes the hydroponics better because my lines and all don't get plugged up quite as bad. Actually, I have very little problems with my lines clogging up using hydroponics. That don't mean I'm not going to do some aquaponics, because I am. I'm going to set me up at least a little system out here and do some aquaponics and use the water that's out of my pond. There's quite a few fish in it, so I figure if I can just pump water, since I'm set up this close to my pond this year, I'll go ahead and just pump my water for my system right out of the pond and just see how it does. Alright, having said that, I'm going to go ahead and do the jalapeno peppers and the sweet peppers, get that done. I got a few cucumbers I'm going to plant, and I'll get that done and I'll be right back with you. There's no use to bore you with all of that. Okay, so we got all the seeds planted now. I'm going to go ahead and cover this tray with this plastic cover. I'm going to move this inside my work building, let the seeds germinate, and once they get to growing, we'll transplant them into the garden. Okay, so that's going to be about wrapping up how to get the seedlings started. I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and I want to encourage all of y'all to kind of follow me along this year as we get this hydroponic system up and running. You can do that by subscribing to my channel and hit that notification bell so you'll know when the next videos are made available. And we'll see y'all next time. Y'all have a good day, and God bless y'all.